Welcome to the final block of the General Academy, and here we are going to be talking about how do you sell. So what are the techniques that you can use to actually propose the product and sell the product to the customer. And we will be starting with the first one, which is called sales presentations. Now, why we are going to be talking about sales presentations is because sales presentations are very easy to learn, easy to practice, and a replicable format. And it is the easiest way to learn sales actually, because by learning sales presentations, you're basically giving yourself a framework of how can you pitch or propose the product to the potential customers or the audience of potential customers. So those sales presentations definitely could be used in many different locations. It could be used in one-to-one sales, as well as it could be used in the massive sales, such as in class shouts or events or presentations. And the format that we will be using is called PSF, Persuasive Selling Format. It's something which is one of the most popular sales presentations formats. It's been developed in the United States over the last 20 or 30 years, and it's been used by many different organizations and companies to train their sellers. Now, why we are using PSF? Because PSF is a very simple and very easy to practice and learn. So this format, once you learn it, it can be applied not only in AIESEC, you can apply it to wherever you're doing in your life, because it gives you a very easy format of how to present your idea and propose a solution to the potential audience. Now, PSF has 5 steps, and we are going to be going deep into what each step means and how can you capitalize the best image. So 5 steps of PSF are: step number 1, summarizing the situation; step number 2, proposing the idea; step number 3, explaining how the idea works; step number 4, reinforcing the benefits; and step number 5, giving easy next step or call to action. Now, the presentation format works only if you follow the steps and you follow the presentation, and I'm going to explain you why each of those steps should be applied. The first step is the step where we summarize the situation. So we started this training by understanding who is our customer, and this is the step where we are actually reinforcing the who. We are reinforcing the who. We are basically contextualizing the situation in which our audience or our customer is. So we are basically summing up, okay, this is what is happening, these are the needs, these are the problems. This is the situation. Now, once we have painted the situation very clearly, so that our audience says, yes, it is right, this is true, this guy is saying the truth, you are establishing a rapport, and then you are presenting the idea. So you say, okay, this is the situation, this is the idea that we have for you. This is the idea, this can be the solution. Now let me explain how the solution works. And this third step is where you explain the features of the solution, features of the product. Now, why this is important? Features do not sell, but features sell. And if people do not know features, they're never going to buy the product. Imagine yourself, would you ever buy a phone not knowing what the features of the phone are? Would you ever buy a car not knowing what the features of the car are? Of course, you're not going to buy the phone or buy the car just because of the features, but not knowing the features will stop you from buying it. So you need to explain the features and then reinforce the benefits. And this fourth step is the most important step of the sales presentation, because in this moment you are linking the features with the situation, putting them in the format of benefits and understanding of, okay, this is why for you this product makes sense. This is how product is going to help you resolve the problems that we have already summarized. And this is how you link basically the whole methodology and everything that we have been learning throughout these past lessons, which is like, okay, you summarize what are the needs of the customer with what are the benefits and the value proposition of the product, and you propose it in a way that customer is left with no choice but to purchase your product. How do you close the presentation? Always, and this is very important because we often forget this part, is with a clear call to action. All of this does not matter if you do not give an easy next step. Call to action needs to be easy and simple and needs to be leading towards the closing. But more about closing we'll be talking in the next lesson. So let me just reinforce one more time how the PSF works. So you are in the meeting and you want to start your sales presentation. You have already done the contextual interview. You already know who is your customer. So you start by explaining, summarizing the situation, repeating some of the points that you have already talked about, painting very clearly what is happening, what is the situation, then presenting the idea, one sentence, the idea, explaining how the idea works, listing down all the features, explaining the features, reinforcing the benefits where you link the needs with the features and the value proposition of the product, and then giving call to action. So your next step is to go there. And that is it. This is how PSF works. Now, call to action is very simple. You need to practice this. This does not work if you do not practice. So go with your team, Go with yourself in front of the mirror and practice these 5 steps in as many different situations as you could imagine. And good luck.